Growing Jamaica's economy is a task that must involve all of us. Along with alliances in research, production and marketing to earn more and buy less in the global marketplace, we must all buy Jamaican. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. On today's show, Agro-park's increasing food production, plus manufacturing companies investing big, creating production and marketing linkages and improving the business environment. Sit back and relax as these and much more unfold this half hour. Stay with us.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
The government's Agro-park strategy is creating efficiency and sustainability in agricultural production through strong partnerships and best practices. Onion production is one of the lucrative areas targeted to expand growth and cut imports to save on foreign exchange. And our farmers have been up to the task. Take a look.
As part of efforts to achieve self-sufficiency in onion demand, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries has increased production on agro-parks across the island.
And the agro-parks which we are treating with at this time are, of course, Roria Yalas, Planting Garden Rivers, Amity Hall, Ebony Park, and for some of those areas outside of the agro-parks, we are including Colbeck, Bracco, and a number of adjoining areas around those areas I just mentioned.
By 2017, onion import to the island is expected to be reduced by 90 to 100% under the Onion Development Program.
The objectives of the program to achieve that overall goal essentially is to build the capacity of farmers and technocrats in onion production and marketing.
So assistance through the $10 million GOJ Adaptation Fund program put farmers to work. The program is being administered by the Planning Institute of Jamaica.
They significantly came in with financial resources in the provision of seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and land preparation.
Between September 2014 and January 2015, over 70 hectares of onion were planted. 35 of those hectares are in the agro-parks. Ongoing harvesting from March to May 2015 is expected to yield over 1 million kilograms of onions. And of that number, 600,000 kilograms will be reaped from farms within the agro-parks network. The remaining 500,000 kilograms are expected from farms outside of the network.
That is considerable, ladies and gentlemen, in light of the fact that in 2030, we only produce 680 tons.
This initiative has shifted onion production norm of 12 tons per hectare closer to the 20 tons needed to satisfy local demand and achieve self-sufficiency for the country.
Based on what you will see and what we have estimated, we have raised the bar already in terms of productivity, because we are seeing on average that we will be coming out at about 16 tons per hectare for the agro-parks.
A tour of the Yalas Agro-Park in St. Thomas showed reaping in high gear. 20 hectares of onion is now under production there, a 100% increase over the same period in 2014. Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Derek Kelly says this level of production, which is being facilitated under the Onion Development Program, is expected to reduce importation by 15% in this first phase.
We are prepared in the ministry to do all we can to see and ensure the success of these agro-parks and the particular crops that we have targeted. So between RADA, NIC and the ministry and the people in research, I think we have an adequate team to make sure that this program succeeds.
We have a twofold involvement. One, we provide the water service, and then we have the on-farm water management service. We advise the farmer in the initial stage how to design their irrigation systems, and then when we provide the water, when they become customers, we provide the day-to-day advice on when is time to irrigate or when is not.
In addition to the GOJ Adaptation Fund program, the success of the Onion Development Program is also credited to other supportive divisions of the Ministry of Agriculture.
We have the National Irrigation Commission, Research and Development, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, Agricultural Land Management Division. That's very important. That's what was formerly called the Rural Physical Planning Division. This has to do with the soil analysis and so on, which are critical to what we want to do. Project Management, the Marketing Division. These are important allies within our team in going forward.
And the farmers at Yalas, they welcome the program.
We got 2 assistants from the GOJ Adapted Fund and JSIF, and where we got irrigation equipment such as drip and tank, and that assisted us and hose in terms of the 50 mm and 40 mm 32. They assist us in taking the water to the farm so that we can have adequate water to water the crops on the farm, and we are really grateful.
The program is a big help to us, and I like when the government come in and helping the farmer in St. Thomas. Right, so I wish they come and give us more help so we can produce more, so we can feed ourselves, so we can cut off all of the import, that we can grow this right here.
I thought it to be a very sustainable way of income, and it will also create employment for other persons around the community. This is the first onion crop for me. I will be receiving about 20-some thousand pounds, and I think that is still a good benefit in terms of the yield.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
The value of branded Jamaica spells profit as authentic local productions continue to experience growing international consumer appeal. Companies such as Red Stripe are seeing the big picture. It's among the growing number of enterprises mobilized through government's economic growth strategy to increase investment in the full value chain, from primary production to manufacturing, supplying both local and global markets. This is their story.
An investment of more than $3 billion. Energy bills slashed by $40 million. Large-scale cassava production. Initiatives implemented by Jamaica's own Red Stripe beer through the support of the government to ensure the world's coolest beer is competitively priced in the hands of consumers.
Reggae night, we come together when we're feeling right. Reggae night, and we'll be jamming till the morning light.
We've invested because we believe that the climate is conducive to investment.
There could never be a better time than now to invest in our country. The government has clearly demonstrated its commitment to prudent fiscal policy, reducing the public debt and avoiding inflation. We also continue to make steady progress in reducing the time taken and the cost of doing business.
The government is on a mission to grow Jamaica's economy. Critical to that process is laying a solid foundation on which investors can build. Several initiatives have been rolled out within the past 3 years to ensure a welcoming business environment. Local investors have taken notice and are taking advantage of the opportunities. This is the story of Red Stripe.
Reggae night, and we'll be jamming till the morning light.
We needed to make this company much more competitive than it has been over the years. So, you know, cost of electricity was a big factor. So we installed our own combined heat and power plant. Cost us about $750 million. We also modernizing the brewery. The brewery has been built since 1958, and the technology that existed at that time, you know, was the most efficient then. But you know, when you're in 2014, now 2015, that technology is not as efficient. And when this brewery was being built, it was built in a kind of campus style. In most breweries around the world now, they are much more compact, they are much more efficient. Last year we completed phase 1 of our brewery modernization program, which was replacing about 30 of the tanks in the cellars with external tanks. We used 7 tanks actually to replace 30. So that's going to be much more efficient. We're going to save a lot more CO2, we're going to use a lot less water. Our overall impact on the environment is going to be so much less. This year we're going to complete phase 2 of that modernization, and we're going to install another 10 tanks. We also invest in flexible packaging line. So if you notice, we have cans in the markets. We just came out with cereal. So we're coming out with a lot of innovation, and that's going to be a big part of our play going forward. The one that I would say is dearest to my heart is our Project Grow initiative. We're looking to replace about 40% of our import with locally grown cassava. And this will cost us about $10 million US. We have a pilot farm going out of Bernard Lodge. We don't own a lot of lands. The government owns a lot of land. And the fact that the government has made these lands available to us at a competitive lease and for a long enough period of time to allow us to really put in serious investment is really, you know, very good. And so cassava beer will be in the market by the end of April 2015.
Great. So don't miss out on this sunshine here.
When you look at some of the business climate that the government has tried to institute over the last year or 2 years, where the overall tax rate for businesses have come down materially, I think those are all the right steps that governments have made, and we have taken advantage of it.
There'll be people coming from the north and south and east and west.
The Red Stripe story is an inspiration to other local investors. As for the beer company, its multi-billion-dollar investment is already improving its bottom line.
One of the things that we needed to have done, one of the things we said to ourselves when we were starting this investment, we were looking to take about 20% out of our cost base by making this investment. We think we are well on the way to do that.
So you better not be late for this rubber ducking, rocking, jamming fun.
Jamaica is climbing to the top of international business rankings. Solid proof that the government's policies are making it easier to do business. Get on board. Jamaica is open for business.
Reggae night, we come together when we're feeling right. Reggae night, and we'll be jamming till the morning light.
Measles, mumps, and rubella are potentially dangerous childhood diseases. Parents, ensure your children get the MMR vaccine to protect them. The first shot should be given when children are between 12 and 15 months old, and another before they start school. Women of childbearing age should also ensure they get the MMR vaccine, as they could transmit dangerous conditions to their children if infected while pregnant. To know more, visit your nearest clinic or health center or contact the Ministry of Health.
Preservation of a safe and secure environment, including our roads, is everybody's business. We can all take stock of the rules of engagement, whether we walk, ride, or drive. This is important to avoid road crashes and resulting injuries or even death.
Just being in a vehicle does not necessarily protect a person. A vehicle can just crumble like paper. So we need to carry out all the necessary road regulations to protect ourselves. Because of incorrect driving, road infringement, persons failing to apply the road code, approximately 57% of all road accidents and fatalities are caused by this. When we drive poorly, we don't pay attention to the road code, it is more costly because we have to repair a vehicle, we have personal physical injuries, not to mention death. So it is more cost effective to drive properly. The road regulation is that we should stop behind the white line. One thing you should never do with a pothole, swing from it. We should use a 3-second rule in following behind another vehicle. Is it safe? Does it make sense? And is it legal? Emotions lead to road rage. So the first thing we need to do is to control our emotions. The road regulation is that we should stop behind the white line. People believe it is the stop sign that they should stop at, but it is really behind the white line. Just imagine a person is coming on the main. He's not expecting somebody to drive out. Now, a person driving out at the intersection without stopping at the proper place, that's a major accident. The experts say we should look 15 seconds of lead time ahead of us. So we should be able to see the potholes before they occur. The first choice should be to overtake the pothole on the left side, because the law in Jamaica is keep well to the left unless you are overtaking or turning right. Then the second option would be to ride through the pothole slowly, or if the way is clear, then probably you could overtake on the right, but never swing from a pothole. Another area we need to pay attention to is the distance we follow. You have what you call a tailgater. We should never be a tailgater. What the experts say is that we should use a 3-second rule in following behind another vehicle. Now, how you count that? You just say 1001, 1002, 1003, and you should be merging just about where the vehicle was ahead of you. Well, there are a host of regulations or rules regarding overtaking that we should pay attention to. But the 3 that I would like to highlight today is that you should ask yourself first, does it make sense? Is it safe? And is it legal? Because you see, a lot of times, even though the overtake may be legal, it doesn't make any sense. It's not necessary. Whenever we get around the wheel to drive, we need to pay attention to our emotions. We may be going to work, we may be late, and this heighten our emotions. We may have a business deal, and this heighten our emotions. So we need to pay attention to our emotions. Now, emotions lead to road rage. So the first thing we need to do is to control our emotions.
Obey road signs and markings. They are there for our safety. Stop at a pedestrian crossing to allow pedestrians standing at the curb to cross the road. Never drive off while a pedestrian is still on the pedestrian crossing. When driving in slow-moving traffic, avoid stopping on a pedestrian crossing. Stop to allow the clearance of the crossing before proceeding. At a junction, stop at the stop bar, not beyond it. Bus lanes are for buses only. Their use by a private vehicle constitutes a traffic offense. No vehicle other than a bus should occupy a bus bay. Do not drive beyond the stop bar in anticipation of the light changing to green. This is dangerous and is against the law. Remain at the stop bar if the queue across the junction is not moving. Blocking the junction will impede traffic flow in the other direction when the lights change to green. Obey the law. It saves money. It saves time. It saves lives.
A message from the Road Safety Unit, Ministry of Transport and Works. Remember, road safety begins with you.
Parliament will kick off the sectoral debate this Tuesday, April 7th. Practical, pinpointed.
There will be a strict limit on time. So it is 45 minutes.
Tune in to hear different plans and suggestions for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. The following persons will give their presentations to Parliament on Tuesday, April 7 and Wednesday, April 8.
The top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith with your JIS News of the Week. It was confirmed this week that Jamaica is set to draw down $39 million, having passed its 7th consecutive IMF review. IMF Deputy Managing Director Mitsuhiro Furusawa said Jamaica's commitment to the extended fund facility remained strong, as seen in the 2015-2016 budget, which continued fiscal discipline. Mr. Furusawa said that while economic confidence was at a 2-year high and a decline in world oil prices should lower inflation, the pace of fiscal reform should be accelerated to boost growth and development on the island. National Security Minister Peter Bunting says he's satisfied with the pace of security arrangements for next week's visit of U.S. President Barack Obama and CARICOM heads of government. The security forces are working with the United States Secret Service to welcome and host the delegation. Among the initiatives is the immediate call-out of the JDF's National Reserve to strengthen security and crime prevention efforts across the island. Traffic diversions and road closures, as well as airspace control measures, are also being implemented. The increased security measures preceded Wednesday's incident at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, where a white male hurled an unidentified bag over the wall onto the compound. Local security personnel were quick to respond and have taken the perpetrator into custody.
The Ministry of National Security can confirm that the contents of the bag were examined by the security forces and no threats were uncovered.
Local Government Minister Noel R. Scott has promised that government is implementing several measures to prevent another major fire at the Riverton disposal site. Speaking at this week's Jamaica House media briefing, he said short-term measures would include re-establishing cell divisions and tipping faces, removing tires from the dump, and engaging the JDF and the JCF to review security arrangements.
But I want to assure the public that clear steps are being taken to solve the problems and to contribute to clean environment that our citizens deserve.
Fire suppression equipment and a pump to get water from the nearby Dehaney River will also be installed, while a water tank is to be constructed. The ministry is also partnering with the Japanese government to separate and process organic waste. And the Inter-American Development Bank is providing technical assistance in logistics and landfill management. In the meantime, Minister R. Scott again expressed regret to the people affected by the fire, which burned for 12 days starting on March 11. It cost government $235 million to extinguish. The country's 9th Agro-park, located at the Sweet River Multi-Species Abattoir in Ferris, Westmoreland, has been officially opened after $292 million in work. Agriculture Minister Derek Kelly says it's the result of a study conducted for the strategic implementation of an abattoir meat science system to meet international best practices.
Emanating from that study is the recommendation to establish regional abattoirs in the 5 centralized locations. In addition, it was determined that these abattoirs could become part of the Agro-park program, and consequently this allowed the government to enter into partnerships with the private sector to establish these abattoirs.
The new Agro-park abattoir will target 2.6 million kilograms of pork and 315,000 kilograms of chevron and mutton. At the opening, Minister Kelly cautioned consumers to not panic and to resist the urge for imported alternatives in the face of a reported shortage of pork in the country.
While we appreciate that there may be a current tightness in the market, we need to resist the urge to open the floodgates of importation, thereby to destroy our hard-earned achievements in the sector.
Commuters Commuters who travel on the main road between South Upturn and Chapelton in Clarendon are to benefit from improvements to that corridor. $1.2 billion in rehabilitation works is being undertaken by the Ministry of Transport Works and Housing through the National Works Agency. Joint financing is being provided by the Government of Jamaica and the OPEC Fund for International Development. Transport and Works State Minister Richard Azan toured aspects of the 18-month project recently and confirmed that the work was on track for completion in March 2016. In the meantime, the Sandy Hill Road in North Central St. Catherine has been officially reopened after $10 million in rehabilitation work was carried out. The roadway, which falls under the responsibility of the Parish Council, was done through the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program.
I believe that it was done and done properly, and I want to congratulate all the workers who work on this stretch. We are going to ask the Parish Council to make sure to put up a sign here to say Sandy Hill.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Kerry Ann Smith.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. Be sure to join us when we return tomorrow with more useful information. Do keep the link. Use our Facebook and Twitter pages, YouTube channel and the JIS website to stay in touch for the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire team at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to eat well, exercise regularly, and get some rest as you make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.